Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new episode of Max Talks Box Office here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, I am breaking down the domestic box office of this past Memorial Day weekend, which was May the 22nd to the 24th, 2026. Look at the overall numbers, both domestic and worldwide, for this year. And we're going to look ahead to the final box office weekend in the month of May here of 2026. So welcome in everyone to Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Without further ado, guys, let's start talking about some historic box office numbers that we're going to talk about here today. Let's get into the domestic box office of this past weekend, which I said was May 22nd to the 24th. Again, this is just domestic, United States and Canada. And starting at number one this past weekend, of course, was The Mandalorian and Grogu from Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and Disney. The film opened to $81 million for the 3 day. Currently, including Memorial Day on Monday, the movie has made 100 million domestic, 163 worldwide. So I think the domestic numbers are kind of solid. The international numbers are troubling for this movie. Especially for a film like this that relies a lot on a character like Grogu who does not talk a lot. You would think this movie would do much better internationally. Now, again, this is a movie that everyone is going to compare to Solo. Solo made around 400 or so million dollars back in 2018. Now, the one big difference that no one talks about because everyone just wants to get the catchy headlines is the budget between Mando and Solo. Solo cost $100 million more than Mando and Grogu. Mando and Grogu cost 165, so the movie needs to make around 415 million to break even, which is right around where how much Solo made. But again, that would make Mando break even and Solo a big money loser for Disney. So Mando and Grogu, I would say, opened decent here in the United States and Canada. Not a really good opening internationally. Again, everyone tries to make proclamations on movies. We will see how this movie progresses as more movies hit the marketplace over the next couple of weeks. But I would say solid for Mando and Grogu, nothing special. Again, this is the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. And again, this is a TV show into a movie now, and last season, a lot of people did not like it. So I don't think many people, again, expected this to be $1 billion movie or one of the most successful Star Wars movies of all time. But I think the goal is hopefully get to around 450, 500 million and move on. Have a little easy success and then move on. If the movie does not, that will be very troubling as Starfighter will be Disney's movie next year on the 50th anniversary of New Hope. So that is the story, Mando and Grogu at number one. But the big story of the weekend, which is the header here for my title of the video, is Obsession making history. The movie made $23.9 million this past weekend. That is a 39% increase in its second weekend in Obsession from Focus Features. So the film's up to $60 million right now domestic, $68 million worldwide for Obsession. But the reason why this is historic, it is the biggest increase ever. Biggest increase this century, excuse me, for a movie that hit wide release this century. The fact that this movie opened to 17.5 million in its first weekend and made nearly $7 million more in its second weekend is unbelievable. Again, Obsession cost $750,000 to make, not even $1 million. This movie is swimming in money here at the multiplex, and it is as someone who's been covering the box office now consistently for 6 years every single week, I have never seen a movie that is a wide release, opened pretty good, and increased by that much, especially in the horror genre. Horror, out of all of the genres out there, is the most front-loaded at the box office. Horror fans, they go out in full force opening weekend. Full force. That's why you see awful drops for horror movies usually. If a horror movie drops 50 to 60%, people are like, wow, that movie held up pretty good. Usually it's in that 60 to 75 percentile on drop-offs in second weekend. Unbelievable. Clearly, the word of mouth is unbelievable for this movie. Just just a truly special story. I don't think people realize like 17 million was a really good opening for Obsession. And the fact that it got to 20, basically 24 million for its second weekend, just insane. I don't know when we'll ever see this again, but as I said, first time this century, a movie that of a wide release increased 40% in its second weekend. Truly remarkable. Obsession is the story of the box office so far this month, and that is amazing to see. At number three this past weekend is Michael from Lionsgate dropping 20% in its fifth weekend. Another 20.7 million for Michael. It's up to 321 domestic and 789 worldwide. Again, its Japan release is not until mid-June. So this movie could hover around, I would say, 900 million. But again, Lionsgate continues to talk about that they want to make another movie. And they want to make another entertaining movie. So we will see. But Michael just, again, made another $20 million, and it's already been in theaters for over a month. Truly a remarkable feat as well for this biopic. At number four this past weekend was The Devil Wears Prada 2. It made 12.7 million in its fourth weekend. That's a 28% drop. Devil Wears Prada 2 has $200 million domestically, 600 worldwide. That is over 200 more than the first movie made nearly 15, 20 years ago. So, 20 years ago. So, amazing stuff as well for The Devil Wears Prada 2 from Disney. Devil Wears Prada 2, Michael Obsession, really amazing numbers for each of those films here at the box office. And the holds are amazing. Devil Wears Prada and Michael have been in theaters for a month now, and they're still only below 30% drops. That is amazing stuff. And wrap up the top five is The Sheep Detectives from Amazon MGM. Only dropped 4% in its third weekend. 9.2 million for Sheep Detectives is up to 47 domestic, 86 worldwide. Really no drop off at all for this movie. Doing very solid numbers. I think this movie will do very well on digital and PVOD before it gets eventually to Prime Video with no extra cost. Sheep Detectives, sleeper hit that isn't doing those big numbers like Obsession, Michael, or Devil Wears Prada, but making its money where it is, and I think that's a big achievement. It knocks Passenger just outside the top five. That was a new movie that came out this weekend. And Mortal Kombat, in just its third weekend, is at number 7. That is rough going for that movie. Let's talk about the overall numbers so far this year domestically. As you can see on screen, Super Mario at number 1, Project Hail Mary at 2. Michael is at number 3. It's $19 million domestic away from pulling ahead of Project Hail Mary. It needs, again, at 100 more million domestic to get to Super Mario, which I don't think it'll get, but I think it will pass Project Hail Mary domestically. Devil Wears Prada is at number 4. So that's 4 movies now domestically to make over $200 million this year. Scream 7 at 7, Go at 8, Mando and Grogu at 9, Zootopia 2, wrapping up that top 10. And when we look at the worldwide numbers for this year, Super Mario is up to $980 million worldwide. So it is $20 million away from the billion-dollar club. We're going to keep following it. It keeps hovering around that point. The movie's made 555 international, 424 domestic. Again, it's not going to make as much as the first one, but still, this is a monster franchise for Universal and Illumination. Michael is the second biggest movie of the year. Project Hail Mary is at number 3. You have Devil Wears Prada at number 5. You have Hoppers at 6. Wuthering Heights at 7. Scream 7 is at number 9. So let's now look ahead to the final box office weekend month here in May. We have Backrooms, which is supposed to be a big opening for A24 this weekend, from 19-year-old director Kane Parsons, projected right now to open to $40 to $50 million. That would be a monster opening for a very small movie like Backrooms, getting a lot of heat right now, both online and critics-wise. So we will see how Backrooms does. I'm seeing that movie on Friday, so I'm going to add a theater reaction and review for that movie on Friday. The other wide release this weekend is The Breadwinner. That's the new comedy starring Nate Bargatze and Mandy Moore. So we'll see if families are going to go see that movie with a lot of rated R content hitting theaters. In limited release this weekend, you have Tuner. That's the new film starring Leo Woodall and Dustin Hoffman. That was the AMC Screen Unseen 2 weeks ago. It's hitting limited release this weekend. Also hitting limited release this weekend is Pressure. That's the new World War II movie starring Brendan Fraser and Andrew Scott. I saw that movie at an early screening yesterday. My review for that movie is coming out today for you guys as well. So that wraps up the box office show. Subscribe, ring the bell. Please also, I just started a new Patreon channel. Please subscribe and find a tier, feel my Patreon. And I'll see you guys in another video very soon.